Hi, welcome to Odessa After Dark. This is episode number 21. On this week's episode, we'll travel to see Susan Rogers, who is head of Odessa Crime Stoppers, to find out what Crime Stoppers does here in Odessa and some of the ways that you can help prevent crime and catch some of those criminals out there that we need help with. Hi, my name is Daniel Ryan. I'm here with Susan Rogers from Crime Stoppers. The reason we're here today is because the last several episodes of this season we've investigated 3 cases, but there's a lot of cases that other people may want to investigate for themselves. And so we wanted to basically take some time to talk to you as far as the basics of Crime Stoppers. Well, we don't have time to emphasize every single case, even though they're important. It takes a lot of time and effort to investigate, say, a missing person especially.
Yes, it does.
And so if somebody wants to look up some missing people or some cases or maybe get some money for some fugitives,
yes.
So you have the website.
We do.
OdessaCrimeStoppers.org. And so if Zach would follow us over here. Now, I see these everywhere, so what will this do? With my iPhone, I can click on it?
Yes, and it will. This is called a QR code. And if you click on this QR code, which we are putting on just about everything we do now, it'll take you directly to our tip page. Let me show you where that's at. So you would just shine your phone on there and do that, and it would take you straight to our tip page and allow you to start giving information to us. Real easy to give information through Crime Stoppers. You can call it in. You can text us. We have actually an app now in the Android market and the iPhone market called Tip Submit, and a lot of people are starting to use that quite often. And we have the web tips, and that's what this is right here. And as you can see, it's just a fill in the blank. Tell us as much information as you can tell us. You can actually go back in, and I can recontact you through this. You're given a code number and a login number, and if you wish to have a two-way conversation with us, you can. This has worked real well. We've actually had this up now for about 5 years, and then the first year that we had it up, we solved a murder with it, with doing a two-way texting back and forth, talking with some people.
Now, on average, how many tips would you say Crime Stoppers gets per week?
We do it on a monthly average,
okay.
And we'll average anywhere, depending on what's going on. We'll average anywhere from 50 to 100 tips that come through the adult line. Now, that doesn't include the student line. We do that separately. But through the adult line, we'll average 50 to 100 tips. Now, those are fresh, new tips. There are times like when you send us a tip and we go back and we respond back to you and we have that two-way conversation back and forth. That can be upwards of 100 to 150 different contacts we'll have with the tipster that way.
Now, are most tips following up on a crime that you advertised or reported, or are most tips new, like, I know this person just did this and I want you to know?
It's kind of a crazy kind of deal. Obviously, when we advertise something, we get tips right then. We get a lot of narcotics tips, and we get a lot of fugitive tips. We pay rewards and take information on cases, even though they aren't publicized. And so there are some people that don't realize that, but there's a lot of people that know that. December is a good month for us. We pay a lot of rewards in December.
So you just spin the wheel today?
We spun the wheel today.
And is that fugitive up here?
He is not up here yet.
Okay.
We actually have a brand new fugitive that we put up. You can go down. You can see how our tabs are. We have the crime of the week right here, unsolved crimes. That's going to be unsolved murders. We have missing persons, and under wanted suspects, we just got this young man up today, Mr. I don't even know how to say that.
Villicas?
Yes.
Villicas.
He's wanted by the U.S. Marshal Service. We periodically put different people up here for the Marshal Service, for the probation, parole office, the city, the county, whatever they want to do. The one right below him, Jose Marcelino, he's been there for a while. He actually is wanted for the murder of his wife, and you can see his story as well over on our Unsolved Crime page.
And he's the one that's in Juarez?
We believe him to be in Juarez, yes.
And so Let's click on the missing persons.
Okay.
Because there is
A number of missing.
yes, and there's two that we've talked about. Now, there's one that your husband searched for that you're passing now, Phyllis Berry,
Yes.
and there's another one where we were just talking about it a minute ago that was featured in the 1990 newspaper that I brought for
Miss Mungia.
Miss Mangia, and her. You said both her parents are dead, but
They have passed
her
away.
sister's still living.
Yes.
And so this is now 31 years old. So when's the last time you received a tip on her?
We receive, when we run Judy's profile about her missing persons case, we normally receive a couple of tips on that when we do it. And we try to run her at least once a year. We like to keep it out there. You know, that's one of the things about missing persons and unsolved cases. It's kind of an out of sight, out of mind. If it's not in your face all the time, you're not thinking about it, then the public doesn't think about it. The families always think about it, but the public doesn't think about it. So we've made it kind of a habit here at Crime Stoppers to feature those that are missing and those that are unsolved homicides. That's why we appreciate the work that you guys do. You know, what you do, putting those out there to the public, keeps that in people's minds. We talk all the time about, you know, these people have been missing a long time, and this was, you know, 1981 was a whole different time, you know, and she was younger then, and, you know, people's lives change. You might have been friends with her and known something at that time, but were afraid to say something. You've got kids of your own now. You know, people grow consciences and, you know, want to tell things or like that. And so what we do is we keep that out there in front of people so that, you know, they can't forget about it. We took them away.
Well, before we close, let's go over to that page.
Okay.
Because so far we've only featured one unsolved murder, but there's a great deal
There's
more
a lot
on here.
There is a lot on our unsolved page. These date back, I mean, way back. I mean, we've got, and, you know, and every one of them's got a story, and I could talk to you for hours, and, you know, we have talked for hours about the different cases. You know, every one of them, you know, I can look at the picture and think about the parent that came and talked to us, or, you know, the family member that we dealt with on that particular case, and, you know, it's just it's a sad thing, and the statute for homicide, you know, never expires. Somebody out there killed these people. Somebody out there knows about these people, and, you know, it's our job to try to keep that in front of people and find out exactly who that was, because someone needs to pay for that crime.
Well,
Somebody did it, and somebody knows.
Yes.
Criminals talk. You know, I mean, that's the one good thing about that is, you know, if they commit a crime like that, they usually can't keep their mouth shut, and that's what we're looking for.
So what we need to do is somebody either to use the app, to text you, or to go to the website, to Crime Stoppers, and always the slogan is, what is it? They'll remain anonymous.
Remain anonymous,
yes.
And cash rewards, you know. And like I said, you know, and the truth behind a lot of that, we have a lot of people that give us information that aren't interested in the reward. I mean, that's not why they're doing it. They do want to remain anonymous. They don't want to go through the system. But, you know, they come forward because they know that information. They know it's going to help somebody else. And they actually, you know, step up to the plate, give us the information, and are not interested in the reward at all.
I had a few questions, because at OC I went to the Student Government Association meeting the other day, and they brought up maybe starting a Crime Stoppers there at OC.
Yes.
I didn't know if you knew anything
Yes,
about that.
yes. We're excited about that.
Okay. What would that entail?
They would basically help us with the publicity, I guess you would say, and publicizing Crime Stoppers on the campus. We have student Crime Stopper program right now, but it's in the ECISD school district on a junior high school level. Okay. They do have Crime Stopper programs on college campuses all over the country. Even though we are not technically on the campuses, we have received tips that had to do with students or teachers on the campus and have solved those crimes both at UTPB and at OC. So we would love, I mean, we are really excited about them putting that together over there for us. And I visited with Brad Miller, the chief over there, quite a bit, and he's really excited about it. So you would help with the promotions of the program and getting students to pay attention. And, you know, if there was ever a crime on the campus that needed us to do the crime of the week as or whatever, we're glad to do that. It's just kind of a safety measure for y'all.
And another thing was, what came up while we were talking about it was how you could remain anonymous if you also got paid.
Okay.
So
a lot of people don't know that. That's a good question.
So.
The way we work that is when you use the app or you use the website, you are given a code number that I can't trace back. I mean, it's one of those that we don't go back through and trace IP addresses or do anything like that. It's blocked. It's all set up. As a matter of fact, our database for the protection of the caller and for our protection through the court system is actually situated in Canada. So, there's a lot you have to go through to get records out of Canada, subpoenas and all that sort of thing. So that's one protection that we have, is we've got it situated in Canada. All of the Crime Stopper programs in the country basically use the same system that we use. So online you're given in the TIP app, and online you're given a code number. If you choose, you can end that thread and we can never get in touch with you again. If you choose to continue that thread with us, we can have a two-way conversation back and forth with us. I delete everything after I've talked to the, done the texting or whatever. I delete it off my phone immediately, and we advise the caller to do the same thing. If you call on the phone, we give you a code number. And we tell everybody it's your responsibility to keep up with that code number. We don't use caller ID. We don't have a way to get back in touch with you. You have to call us. You have to provide that code number to us so that we can take more information from you and or give you information. At that point, if a crime is solved based on your information, a lot of times if you've called in on a fugitive, you'll know that that person got arrested. So they'll call us back, give us their code number, say, well, I understand he got arrested. I'll double check that it was based on their information. If it was, they're eligible for a reward. We use several different forms to pay with. The most frequent form we use different banks in town, and you take a separate code number and you go to that bank, you go to the teller, tell her you need to pick up a Crime Stopper envelope with that code number. She sends the money out to you in cash. So there's no tracking, no tracing, no anything about that. We give you 30 days to pick that money up. It sits there for 30 days, so you can go at any time. So we're not out there trying to track you down or whatever. The reward is actually yours for 6 months, defense attorney. So we've got lots of measures in place that keep you as the caller protected. I have to say that in Odessa Crime Stoppers, we have never given up a caller. There's never been an instance when a caller was given up. We've had several callers who have given themselves up. By getting excited, by showing up with an extra $1,000 in their pocket and giving themselves up, but we have never revealed a caller in the 25 years I've been here, and in the 30 plus years that Crime Stoppers has been here.
All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Randy Ham, and I'm the Department Coordinator for the Ector County Library. I'm here to talk to you about the last book of the season, and it is The Innocent by Taylor Stevens. This is the second in a series of books about Vanessa Michael Monroe. And if you want a really good thriller with a very interesting protagonist, I highly recommend Taylor Stevens. Especially if you have read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and you like that kind of book. This is more of an Americanized version. Vanessa Michael is very strong. She's got a really good head on her shoulders, and she's really good with data. And it's interesting the way that Taylor Stevens is able to craft a story around someone who's so smart and can crunch data and make it a really satisfying thriller. And that's what she's done with this. She's got a third book coming out that we'll probably talk about next season, and I can't wait to read that. So if you're really good with excellent female protagonists and a fantastic thriller, this is your book.